Hi there, Steph. Thanks for popping by. So, this card is a card for a newborn little boy. I've stamped the clearly besotted little onesies too, so I'm assuming there's a one. I've not seen it, but I'm assuming there's a one on some Strathmorton grey, because I think it's the best to kind of get that contrast between the Prismacolor. Here you may have seen the nib of my light blue broke again. I've mentioned it before. I have 2 or 3 colors that break a lot, like the white and the light blue, and probably another light color. So I'm wondering if it's something with the light color, whatever they use to make light colors, that maybe make them break more. I don't know. Anyways, it's still a good pencil if you can get over the frustration of a few of them breaking. So anyway, light blue and darker blue on the edges, and then I'm gonna make the circle a lot darker. I wanted to create contrast because it's a very simple card. It's one layer, very simple card, and it's the reason I kind of like simple cards. This one I did actually give in hand, but the reason I like flat cards is because they're less than 20 grams. And I mentioned that as well before. I don't know where you live, but in England, if it's more than 20 grams, then you pay more. This kind of like weight ranges, I suppose you could say. It's up to 20 grams, and it's up to 100 grams, and then it's up to 250, I think. And the price to send to France, for example, is not the same at all than the one to send to England. So I kind of try to keep my cards flat, and that is why I do a lot of shading as well. It does take more time to shade, and I'm not very good with, I mean, I can cut with the scissors, but I'm not a very good fussy cutter, and I'm not very patient for it. And obviously I don't have all the dies because they're a bit pricey overall. So I do one layer quite a lot. So anyway, I've done the little pegs and the second little bodysuit with the little boat on it. And it reminds me of a French brand of clothing for children called Petit Bateau. I don't know if it gets out of France, maybe. It means a little boat, and the logo looks a lot like that little boat here. So it makes me think of that. I think it's quite cute. I did the bodysuit white with the little boat, and then adding a little bit of shading with probably some cold grey, but I'm not quite sure. I've done that card a few months back, actually. I think I gave it, handed it in September. So I've had that video on my hands for quite a while, but it's one of these things that life has been going really fast since James has gone back to school. So here we go, I'm finally catching up. And yes, so sorry, creating depth on the edges with probably two different shades of grey, maybe even 3, I'm not quite sure. But it's quite nice. It's, it's very subtle, but it adds that thing your eye kind of sees that suddenly. It's not as flat as it was. So I think it's well worth the effort, really. And here for the last bodysuit, I really like that one. I think you recreate a lot of, it looks like the body would be really round, like a big belly in the bottom or something like that. I think quite cute, particularly when babies, not newborn, but babies tend to have big bellies, and I think it's quite fun. Anyway, so here we go, more contrast, and I think the contrast works really well. And that's why I like the blending with the Prismacolor so much, because you can get really good blending from, the blue is not dark on the white lines, but it's still fairly dark, so you still, you get a good blending considering where you start from, I suppose. I don't know. I do like it. Tell me what you think. I mean, if you have Prismacolor, obviously, what do you think about them? And do you have other pencil that you like more? I know my friends are using Polychromos, so they can't really compare with Prisma. And I know Prisma is different from Polychromos as well, but I don't know if there's other kind of pencils out there that someone would recommend. Although I do really like mine, so I'm not saying I'm going to change, but I would like to know if there's something else out there that people find interesting, so let me know. Here I went over with my black glaze pen, and that was still at the time what I was trying to persist, and I mean, it still looks good, you get that contrast and that rich pigmentation from the glaze pen, but I do remember struggling quite a bit to get round circles, for example, for the bodysuit with the round circles, to get the circles actually round, because I remember the ink kind of moving around a bit like oil and water kind of thing, and I do remember getting a bit frustrated about that. But yeah, it's still, you know, from far away it looks fine. It's up close that it gets frustrating, and when we make cars we're really close to it, so obviously that's it. So I've added quite a few accents of white gel pen, and I think it really makes a difference. I can't emphasize enough how much white gel pen, how good it is against, you know, darker color or even the gray cardstock. It just adds that little bit of dimension. It's really worth taking the time. If I haven't convinced you yet, give it a go and you see the difference. It's really good. Here I'm adding a bit of depth with some W markers. I would think, I didn't get a chance to see, but I would believe it was W markers. And I glued my card, I trimmed it, and that was it. It's a simple design, but I think it was really cute for a newborn, and hopefully people received it like it. So I hope you find it interesting. If yes, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't hesitate to subscribe, and thanks again for watching. Have a great day, and see you in the next video. Bye!